Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. As you see right here, we saw deadline. Javon Evans was laid out by Tony Angelo. What was that all about? We'll talk about it coming up. Speaking of that, we hear from the champion, Obi Femi, in the fallout from NXT deadline. Hear from him coming up, as well as Jordan Grace and meet Kalani Jordan in the ring after a close confrontation from deadline in the Iron Woman Survival match, as well as Blake Monroe will hold an open challenge for her in North American Championship, as well as we'll get the debut of Charlotte Hill, LFG, and what Hank and Tank are doing in Japan. We'll talk about it. The Pro Wrestling Show starts right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kenny Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show for the NXT Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get things started with this. We see Javon Evans, the Iron Survivor winner, beating up with Obi Femi. Obi Femi came out there to talk about himself and brag about himself, as Obi Femi normally does. Obi Femi won the NXT Championship for the second time. Obi Femi, a two-time NXT champion. And that's when Obi got confronted by Javon Evans and Ricky Saints. I kind of knew something was going on. Something was going down. Can't trust Ricky Saints at all. Well, Javon said he wants a shot at the NXT Championship. He doesn't want to wait till New Year's Eve coming up in the beginning of the year. He wants the shot tonight. Ava made it official for him. So Javon Evans getting the shot, like always, against who, Ricky over family late on night. So Ricky Saints kind of egged him on. So tonight, you see right here, over Femi. Right here, we're gonna show you that right quick. Yeah, Ricky Saints, over Femi taking on Ricky Javon Evans a little bit later. No Iron Survival, no New Year's Evil. So I'm not able to wonder a little bit later who's gonna meet uh over Femi. I mean, who's gonna be his new opponent for for New Year's Evil? Well, who's gonna find out a little bit later on. As NXT, the general manager made this match right here. Yeah, four men that didn't win the Iron Survival will have a second opportunity. Joe Henry, Deion Lennox, Miles Bourne, and Deion Slayer will all have an opportunity for redemption if they can win the Fatal Four Way next week. So we know next week there'll be a Fatal Four Way to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship at New Year's Eve coming up. So we'll have to wait and see on who's going to win that Fatal Four Way next week. Well, we get this right here. Kalani Jordan went against Jordan Grace. Kalani Jordan taking on Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace wanted to sell some unfinished business, and Kalani Jordan did so by pinning Jordan Grace, which was a shocker. And these women had brawl during the women's Iron Survival the whole entire match. So we saw that. As well as this, Tam Paxton saying she got unfinished business with the men of the calling. after they had cost her match against Izzy Dang. Izzy Dang kind of looking confused at the after she did what she did last week, this past Saturday. So we saw that as well. It looks like Sam Paxley got unfinished business with the call. I can tell you that right now. The minute in 6 years, you don't want to be on her bad side, and she's going to show that next week. As well as this right here, Jordan Grace and Tia Hill was talking. Tia Hill was trying to say that she wants to go for something. She didn't say what she wanted to go for. So that brings us to this right here. Blake Monroe had her Women's North American Open Challenge this past week. Blake came with the idea to Ava, told Ava that she wants to defend her Women's Championship in the Open Challenge like John Cena, and she did. But she did not suspect this right here. All these women gunning for her and want a shot of her North American Championship. I think she should have just kept her mouth shut and did what she had to do. But didn't want to do that. But she put her foot in her mouth, and now she's gonna have to pay the piper. And who came out there to give her a rude awakening was none other than Tia Hill. Tia Hill came out there and tried to do that maneuver, trying to take her out, take her legs out, and did so. But Tia Hill wants some more. At the age the general manager granted that Tia Hill will get a shot against Blake Monroe next week. So Blake Monroe and Tia Hill will do battle next week. We'll see that match coming up next week. It's gonna be real funny. Blake Monroe didn't see it coming. Tia Hill could apply that same maneuver on and win the North American Championship. That'll be an embarrassment right there. So like I said, we'll see. That's gonna be the case next week. Is there still unresolved issues going on? Strange fellowships between Solo Roca and Zarya. A lot of people think so. Zora Roca and Zarya are still now on the same page. Solo Roca won her match tonight. Solo Roca will be taking on Bailey this week on Saturday night's main event. We're looking forward to see Solo Roca taking on Bailey. But can Zarya and Solo Roca continue to put their differences aside and see? We'll see. Solo Roca and Zarya, but they're gonna try to put their issues aside this week. But we'll see. Someone's gonna be turning on someone sooner rather than later. So don't be shocked who's gonna be. Well, it looks like Ethan Page might have a new challenger awaiting him. His man is Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo came out of nowhere. Ethan Page was trying to dress down the audience. And Tony D'Angelo came out of nowhere and attacked Ethan Page and had him silly. And doing so tonight, leaving Ethan really trying to get his ducks in a row. I can tell you that right now. Ethan Page didn't see it coming. And I think Ethan Page better watch his back because his days as North American champion could be over after you know who what came back a former North American champion. I can tell you that right now. Well, Shiloh Hill, the LFG season 2 winner, make his debut. He came out and won his match tonight over on Lexus King. Shiloh Hill, he's sort of like a hacker in a way, and did so and hacked some things, but got the victory over Alexis King, like right here, this pinfall victory. Alexis King better really get his stuff together. I can tell you that right now. Hank and Tank, what are they up to? Hank and Tank won the the GHW Japan Tag Team Championships. So Hank Tank traveling all around the world, including Japan, winning championships. You see how they won the tag team titles. So we see how that's going to go for Hank and Tank winning the tag team titles. All right, we go from this to Toxic Attraction. Toxic Attraction. JC Jane and her group Fatal Attraction. I meant to say called out Kendall Gray, the of all women's champion, and Vincent Carroll was round with her. But we kind of see that next week we're going to be seeing in New Year's Evil that Kendall Gray will get her shot at the championship, and JC James with her arrogance saying, "Why does Kendall Gray think she has a shot to become women's champion?" Kendall Gray was kind of like a dark horse, and she did win this past Saturday, won that women's Iron Survival match, and did so and won it for herself. Kendall Gray, the Evolved Women's Champion, will get a shot against JC Jane. Looking forward to seeing that next week as well. So, like we said, we'll see JC Jane, Kendall Gray in nearly 3 weeks from today. But looks like Fatal Influence making the influence attacking Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair, who tried to give a fight, but it just wasn't enough tonight. Well, we get to this right here. The NXT Championship match. Impromptu match. Javon Evans taking on Obi Femi. Obi Femi, could he be losing his NXT Championship just after winning it this past Saturday at that deadline? Ricky Saints really wasn't drawn enough, but Ricky Saints saying he's gonna be having Javon's back. I think Javon should have knew that was something was up with Ricky Saints. Well, after move, we thought that Javon was airing close of winning the NXT Championship, but it just wasn't to be. After Ricky Saints screwed his friend, costing Javon an opportunity to become the NXT champion and helping Obi Femi, the dude that really took your title away nearly a couple of days ago. As you saw right there, Obi Femi getting his title back, costing Javon Evans a shot becoming NXT champion, which is crazy. I don't know why. Ricky Saintsbury gonna have some explaining to do on why he did what he did. Just as crazy. Ricky Saints doing that, but Ricky Saints leaving a statement and stuff. Like I said here, this we know in next week, this will be a fatal 4-way contenders match. I think Deion Lennox is gonna get the shot. Deion Lennox and Obi Femi need to wrestle each other, and they're probably gonna wrestle each other next week for the NXT Championship at that ungrudge and stuff like that. So we'll see how that's gonna go. Obi Femi starts his second reign as NXT champion and got away with the championship with the help of Ricky Saints. What's gotten to Ricky Saints, we just don't know. But like we said, we're going to be keeping a close eye on it. So, for me being Kendrick Dix, saying thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We're going to leave you with Ricky Saints screwing screwing Javon Evans out of the NXT Championship from Obi Femi. We'll see you tomorrow for the AEW Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.